Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a fantastic day. This is the Lenovo Legion GO. We're going to be doing a review over my ownership over the last 6 months, a little unboxing, how to wrap the device, and how to upgrade the SSD. My overall opinions of this device. Should you buy it? Should you not? Should you buy the Steam Deck? I don't know. We're going to get into that. So let's start off here with a little unboxing. You don't get a whole lot of stuff in the box. A couple of pieces of paperwork and a charging cord, plus the device itself and a handy little carrying case. After that, it's a whole bunch of cardboard. This device is a fantastic little device. It comes with a 16 by 10, 8.8 inch display, coming in at 2560 by 1600. That's just over 1440p with 144 Hz refresh rate. This device has the AMD Z1 Extreme processor, 16 gigabytes of DDR5 memory, clocking in at 7500 megahertz. This device comes with a 512 gigabyte or a 1 terabyte Gen 4 SSD. Like I mentioned before, we're going to be going ahead and upgrading that to a 2 terabyte SSD here in this video. Overall, the device feels fantastic. Does not come charged. So we're going to go ahead and get that plugged in and boot it up here. That case is a little lackluster. As you can see, it only has room for the device. No charging, no peripherals, nothing else you can bring with you. I got another case I spotted on Amazon there. I believe it's called the Butterfox Large Carrying Case. The Lenovo Legion GO. I will go ahead and have that linked down in the description, as with all the other videos I personally watched to help get my Lenovo Legion GO all set up into the state where you see at the end of the video. So if you have any questions or want to jump in a little bit deeper into any of the things I've done in this video, go ahead and take a look down there in the description. And check out some of the other fellow creators here on YouTube who are covering the Lenovo Legion GO. They put out a lot of fantastic videos. If you notice here, the device is started up in portrait mode. That'll happen on your first startup and maybe here or there. But this is all okay. Don't worry, as soon as you get into Windows, it'll flip over to landscape. We're going to go ahead and bust through all the Windows setup here. I recommend not signing into a Windows Live account and just using a local account. First thing, as always, I do with a new computer is head on over to Ninite. That's NINITE.com. This will go ahead and let you download all of your most used apps. Chrome, Steam, WinRAR extract. There's a whole bunch of good stuff on there. Go ahead and check it out. It's going to download all the things and install all the things for you without clicking any buttons. Just get all your apps on your computer like you normally use. While that's doing its thing, I'm in the background unpinning apps and uninstalling some Windows apps. This seems like a great point to talk about the bloatware on this device. This device does not come with a ton of bloatware, although with any modern Windows device, any of the bloat's going to be slowing it down, especially with a smaller handheld like this. This is a very powerful device, but when you're trying to game at that high peak performance, everything can kind of be slowing you down. There's a wonderful app and a video I'll have linked below. The app's called Bloody Noisy, and there's a video on how to speed up your Legion GO. That'll also be linked down in the description. That is a fantastic app, but use it at your own risk, as deleting some of this stuff could end up harming your device down the line. So go ahead, do your research on that Bloody Noisy. Don't remove anything you don't feel comfortable with and you don't know what does on your device. So we got the device all set up here. We went through, got a couple updates going, got into the Legion software, let it do its update. It updated itself, as well as the device, as well as the firmware for the controllers. As you can see, Ninite went ahead and got Steam downloaded. We logged in there. We're getting Castle Crashers downloaded. Just going to go ahead and try out our first game here. It took me about an hour to get the whole device set up, get a game downloaded on Steam, ready to run. It's all downloaded. We're letting the Windows updates finish in the background. So as soon as that's done, we're going to grab a quick little restart here and make sure everything is right where it wants to be. The feeling in the hands on this device is fantastic. All the buttons feel great. They're very responsive, clicky. Nothing feels loose. There have been some complaints online about the two disconnectable controllers not seating properly. I personally have never had any issues with this device. I purchased it at a Best Buy locally here in America for full retail price. Now seems a great time to mention the price of these devices. 512 gigabyte is going to get you around 650 currently, and the 1 terabyte is going to hit you for about $700. And you're still going to have to pay tax and all that. You may be in a different part of the country or the world or whatever. They're actually on sale right now, $50 off what they were listed for originally. So now is not a horrible time. And I know on the Best Buy, they also have an option for buying an open box if you're trying to get something a little bit cheaper. Out of all the handheld devices right now, I think this is the best one out. It comes with Windows, so you don't have to deal with Linux like the Steam Deck. It's not a Nintendo only like the Switch. There's some other third-party ones out there that are a little bit stranger, and those ones are all right, but they're not that big production company like the Lenovo. Asus ROG has also released one. That one is a little bit smaller device, but carries the same processor. Overall, I just really like this device a whole lot better. But that was our first setup, playing our first game. Let's get into the rest of the video here. Here are some shots of me just playing some games and using it around. I was playing some in the truck. I'm a semi-truck driver full-time, so this is a great device for me personally. It runs any game I've thrown at it and any software. You can play games by the fire. You can play games while you're at work. You can play games cuddled up next to your significant other on the couch. Whatever you want to do. This thing is awesome. So now we're getting into installing the new SSD. The first step of which is getting your SSD cloned. So there's a SSD in the device. We want to make that mirror our new SSD. So when we slap that bad mamma jamma in there, she's just off and running like nothing ever happened. So this SSD is actually slightly smaller than the one that is in the device size-wise. It is 2 terabytes, which is 4 times the size of the storage of the factory SSD in this device. So I'm just putting a little bit of an extender on here so we can make sure we get to the screw hole. I used a Western Digital SSD. I will have it linked down there in the description if you'd like to purchase this for your device as well. It is marketed for the Steam Decks, the Allies, and the Legion GO, so you should be able to find that pretty easy. Now that we got our new SSD in the enclosure and plugged into our USB hub, we're going to go ahead and jump in a program called Mac Room Reflect. Don't worry, you can get a 30-day free trial for this program if you want to go ahead and do this. So what we're going to do is plug it in, select our drive. Boom, that's the one we want to clone. And the one we want to clone to, we're going to hit shrink or extend partition to target disk. That is going to make sure that we fill up the entire partition on our bigger drive and not just use the 500 gigabytes that's on the factory one and have a second unusable bit of storage on our SSD. So we're going to go ahead and let this work on everything in the background. It's going to take a little bit. As you can see, I got a little bored. I'm over here watering my plants while I'm waiting for this thing to get all cloned. This will take a while, especially if you got a lot of stuff on your device. So we're going to go over a little bit of the peripherals I used. I used the U-Green 6-in-1. We got the Insignia enclosure here. Again, all these will be linked down in the description. And for the power supply, I use U-Green. U-Green seems to be a fantastic product. This is the Western Digital SSD that I use. It's up to 2 terabytes. Again, all this stuff will be linked down in the description. All right, our cloning process has now finished. We're going to go ahead and grab a quick speed test before. Then we're going to go ahead and take the back cover off. Now, after you get all the screws out, there's going to be some clips. Okay. That was not fun. Very nerve-wracking. Still very nerve-wracking. Okay, we got it off. We got it off, boys. As you can hear from past me, it is a little bit unnerving to pop the clips out of the back of this device. You kind of feel like you're breaking it. You got to find something soft plastic to stick in the sides to kind of start popping the back of the case up, because there's clips all the way around the device that are holding it in even after you've removed all 6 screws on the back. So what I'm doing right now is removing the safety tape that holds everything in place. That's going to uncover our battery connector right there. That's what I just unplugged to make sure we don't damage the device while we're working on it. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the SSD that's under this little heat shield tape right about here. We'll get that sucker all on out of here, and then we're going to unwrap the heat shield tape from the factory SSD, and then we're going to make sure we pull out our new SSD, make sure our screws all nice and tight. Take that same heat shield tape. Here's a little size comparison for you. That's why we need the extender to get it that much longer. So we're going to go ahead and wrap our heat tape back on there as best we can to get it looking like it was from the factory. So we'll screw that bad mamma jamma back in here, plug our power cable back in, and then we'll go ahead and put both of our pieces of safety tape, one right on the battery connector itself, one that covers the cable and the SSD. Then before we put the cover back on, we're going to go ahead and test our device, make sure that we do not have any issues, because this is a big pain in the butt. If you put it all back together, then it doesn't start. Now you got to take it all back apart. No fun.
Ooh, yeah. It's working. It's working.
It's working! It's working!
As you can see, I was pretty excited about that there. Here are our new SSD and our old SSD numbers. Feel free to pause there if you want to check that out. Higher numbers are definitely better.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
So we got all of our clips popped back in. They make a very audible sound. So next we're going to move on to our wrap. I got a couple wraps in the mail to kind of figure out which one in person I liked better. I saw, since this is a gaming device, we're going to go with the gamery one and not the black incognito one. So we're going to go ahead and get this device all cleaned up. I'm going to get ready to put on our new wrap. I got a little heat gun there, just a little Harbor Freight job. You don't need much. If you've got a hairdryer, that'll help out. But in all reality, if you're in a normal warm place, 68, 70 degree Fahrenheit house, you should have no problem sticking this on even without a heat gun. I honestly probably did a little overkill with the heat gun, and that's probably why I had some issues with this. I had a little bit of issues in getting the button holes to line up and the USB holes to line up. Overall, it came out pretty nice. It's not perfect, and I would say that's a skill issue. That's on me. It's not the wrap. These wraps came from D-Brand Skins. Overall, the quality of them is pretty good. I thought the little reflectiveness in this camo looked freaking fantastic. I was a little disappointed that the wrap did not wrap around the back of the controllers. However, that's kind of a personal taste. I know other companies make wraps that do cover that section. This is just which D-Band chooses to cover. So we're going to go ahead and get this wrap all on this side here. Using that heat gun, using our fingers, making sure we take our time, don't get any of the bubbles in. So we got the right controller and now the left controller done. Clip that bad mamma jamma back in there. And as with any wrap, stickers, screen protector, anything like that, you want to make sure you clean the device very, very well. Any of the skins or the oils or dust or debris, any of this stuff can cause you pain when you're going ahead and putting these wraps on any device. So I want to make sure everything's very clean. I'm preheating all the surfaces, and I'm preheating the wrap itself a little bit. On the bottom here, I kind of messed it up. I ended up having to cut the wrap to kind of get everything to line up quickly. I got a little bit of a bump there. It's not very noticeable unless you know it's there. Move on to the back here. Again, we're making sure the device is very clean, as we don't want the wrap coming off unintentionally. While we do that, we're going to go ahead and talk about how fantastic this device is. This device, for me, has personally replaced my desktop computer. My desktop computer right now is sitting next to me, and it's been off for a few months, probably 6, probably as long as I've owned this device, pretty much. I have been able to do everything I've needed to do with this device, including edit this very video right now. I am actually recording the voiceover sitting here, and this is all running on the Legion Go. I got this plugged in to my USB hub. We got our microphone sitting right here, and this is actually how we are editing the entire video on this powerful little handheld device. So when I tell you it runs games great, it runs everything great, and this has replaced my desktop completely. Believe me, this is a fantastic little device. I would recommend, if you are in the position to spend the extra money on getting a GPU enclosure, so that when you are at home and you are trying to plug it in and do some more fun stuff, you can go ahead and pump these numbers up to the next level. That little processor in there with the 16 gigabytes of RAM, fully accessible to it, combined with an external GPU, you have a very powerful little computer here. So I think the wrap came out pretty nice overall. I really like the reflectiveness in it. Like I said, I felt like this one felt a little more gamery, which made sense on a gamer device. Overall, it came out really nice. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up here, test it out, make sure everything is in its correct spots. All my buttons and whatnot are still working. We got that glass screen protector on there too. That's fantastic. They come with 2 in the box just in case you mess up the first one. I tried covering the wrap over the touchpad, the mouse touchpad on the device itself. However, it made it unresponsive at that point. So overall, gaming with the wrap on there is pretty good. Like I said, I think I had some user issues with how all the buttons felt. They were a little sticky in the corners, so sometimes you press the A button or something and it gets stuck down. And not a very big deal. Just go back in with an X-Acto knife, clean up the corners, and it's fine. But just something to note. Wasn't the perfect install. Like I said, I think that was on me and not Dbrand as the company. So overall, I think this is a fantastic device. I highly recommend that you guys go out and get you one of these if you're looking at any of the handheld games in the gaming market. We're going to go ahead and end this video off with a little bit of Helldivers 2. If you guys have any questions for me about the Lenovo Legion Go, any of the upgrades or things that I've done to my device, go ahead and leave those down there in the comments section. I will go ahead and get back to you. If you're looking for any of the things that I used or want to know a little bit more about the device, I have all the YouTube videos that I personally watched linked down below there in the description. So, like the beginning of the video said, I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Godspeed, and fight for democracy.